You're listening to the natural Chase Stevens, 3-time NWA World Tag Team Champion. You're listening to Spot Show Podcast.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Spot Show Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Dickie. My all-time favorite band is Weezer, and I have to tell you, this past weekend, I felt personally attacked by the one-man boy band, Michael Madrox.
Well, Dickie, how dare you put Weezer above me in any type of voice-activated control system?
No, let's just...
No, let's cut the shit out.
Let's talk about how, for a solid hour and a half on our way to a show, you made fun of me because my favorite band is Weezer. And what I don't understand about this is why you just have to be so negative all the time. Because I see you about to talk here, but I'm not going to let you go because I am very offended by this, because Weezer is the soundtrack to my life. Rivers Cuomo is a modern day Shakespeare with lyrics.
See, I could see Weezer being the soundtrack to your life. I mean, for one, you probably mow your grass with dad jeans and New Balances, all white. Number two, the receding hairline. Number three, the dad hats. Number four, the spectacles. And number five, the sleeve of Pokemon tattoos. Should I keep going about how you are so white and nerdy in this situation?
You never cut your grass in white shoes. I mean, come on here. Have a little bit of honesty with yourself here. Like, I understand the bit and the reference that you're going for, but this is no bit, sir. I am legitimately offended by the fact that, because Weezer is the stereotypical white guy loser music, then you feel that you can judge Dickie. No, we are not going to judge Dickie because, listen, here's the thing about Weezer, okay? Not only can a band in the same year come out with 4 different EPs that all have their own theme, and they all sound unique, and they all have their own theme, and
I'm gonna cut you off there.
Stuff.
Cut you off.
What?
No hot tag yet. Have you never listened to anything in the underground?
Let me finish.
No. You're
finish.
You're hyping these guys because they have 4 EPs.
I'm not
the
done
same
yet.
Year.
I'm
all
not,
different themes.
I'm not done yet. Let's also talk about how one year you have Van Weezer that comes out, which is a hard rock inspired album. Then that same year, you also have OK Human come out, which is more of your soft boy rock, where it's just kind of, there's like this classical orchestral sound going out through the entire album. OK Human, one of my favorite Weezer albums. I'm throwing it out there. Now, what I am talking about here is that I'm well aware. You can talk about Underground, Thunderground, Thunderdome, Blunderdome, whatever you can talk about. You know what I'm talking about here? So
no,
listen,
I have no idea what the hell you're talking about because it's Weezer.
Listen, here's the thing, though, right? Is that name a modern rock band. I'm not talking about underground rap groups. I'm not talking about any of that. That's not what I'm talking about. Name a modern rock band that is capable of changing their sound and style as consistently as Weezer is. Continue.
Falling in Reverse.
There's a major difference between what they do and what Weezer does, because Weezer is genre defining, okay? Weezer is genre bending, as I stated. In the same year, you have Van Weezer and OK Human, which are 2 completely different sounds.
Twisted.
I said don't talk about rap groups. I'm
talking about rock groups. They're rock bands now, buddy.
They had 1 metal album.
You need to go back and read through their discography.
Okay, listen, here's the other thing too. Weezer doesn't need a gimmick, okay? They don't need... Okay?
They don't need a gimmick.
They don't need to paint their face like idiots, which is a gimmick that was given to them, mind you. And then, even though we had this big falling out with ICP, we're still going to keep the face paint and all that stuff on because, frankly, that's what's going to make us the money. Now, listen, I'm not mad at Twisted. I like Twisted. I will listen to Twisted. Mister, I'm going to rip my name off of a member of Twisted. Listen, I'm just telling you right now, you come at me after one of my favorite bands, I'm coming at you just as hard about one of your favorite rock bands, okay? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Let's agree to
here?
disagree, and let's move on from this subject before you start to cry.
No, we're not moving on from this subject because I have like 20 points left that I want to make. Now, listen.
I'm sorry, everybody.
Here's the thing, right? So there is a very divisive group online, right? r/Weezer. It's the subreddit for Weezer. And I will just say this with 100% certainty. I can say this with all confidence. I have scoured the internet in my free time. I have scoured Reddit in my free time. There are some bad subreddits, okay? Do you understand what I'm saying here? There are a lot of really bad subreddits. I mean, do we even need to talk about Wrestle with the Plot and how they got banned from Reddit?
Let's just go on a Reddit spill.
So r/Weezer, I don't know if it's a bit or if they are legitimately like this. They are one of the most toxic Reddits that I have ever seen in my entire life, because either you love everything before Pinkerton, which is literally the Blue Album and Pinkerton, that's it, or you love everything after Pinkerton, which I'm one of those Weezer fans. I celebrate the entire catalog, okay? I don't think that there needs to be this divisive, hey, Weezer peaked here and they are downhill from here. Are all their albums great? No, they're not all great. There are some real stinkers out there. I'm looking at you, Hurley. The point that I am trying to make here is that I am here to lead the coalition to try to unite Weezer fans where we can all agree that not everything after Pinkerton is bad, because that is truly when Weezer hit their stride.
So what you're trying to say is you need to pass out flyers and say, hey, I'm having a barbecue in my backyard. Bring your New Balances, guys. Let's go.
Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. I'll do it. I will do it. I'm telling you. I am to that point where it's like, listen, here's the thing. We need, united we stand, divided we fall.
Calling all dads.
Calling all dads out there. Can't stop partying. I'm telling you. That's what we need to get going on here. Before we get too far into this, by the way, let me just let you know that this episode of the Spot Show podcast is brought to you by Elite Pro Wrestling, Sewer Layer Toys, and BurntBuds.com. But you're going to hear a little bit more about them later. If you could kindly also leave us a 5-star review on your favorite podcasting platform. Please don't be offended by me saying that everything after Pinkerton is arguably Weezer's best work. If you disagree with me on that, then I sincerely apologize. I'm sure there's another podcast for you, but in this household, we celebrate the entire catalog. Now, I would like to go back on something that I said just a second ago, and that is I sincerely apologize for coming in hot making fun of Twisted, because I'm a fan of Twisted. You have introduced me to Twisted. I like Twisted. However, when you attack my shit, I'm gonna attack your shit.
Well, it's so easy to attack your shit, though. Like, Weird Al even made a fucking song about Weezer.
What song did he make about?
White and Nerdy.
That's not about Weezer.
That is the definition of Weezer.
You're building your entire argument off of a Weird Al song.
It's facts, bro.
Hey,
Google that shit.
Weird Al is in the music video for Africa, the Toto cover. He like lip syncs and he's playing the.
It all ties in together, don't it?
How funny is it that
Back to White and Nerdy.
I go up to Clayton Clark and I'm like, listen, he's making fun of me for liking Weezer, and he's like, I know one Weezer song and it's not even a Weezer song. It's I bless the rains down in
Exactly.
Africa. But I mean, I don't expect a cowboy to know about Weezer, about the plight.
I don't expect most people to know about Weezer.
How do you not expect most people to know about Weezer?
It's fucking Weezer.
Weezer is one of the most influential rock bands. I'm going to tell you a story. No, this is an absolute honest. Don't give me that fucking look. This is an honest to God true story. I saw Weezer a couple of years ago, right? Well,
I'm sorry.
Than that. It was a long time ago. Don't say it. I have said that do you want to hear the whitest sentence in the world? I saw Weezer last summer. I thank you. But no, it was more than a couple years ago because, the lockdown and everything gets me fucked up for time. It was probably 2016, 2017 I saw Weezer. And Brendan Urie, Panic at the Disco, opened for Weezer, put on a hell of a show. And he said the reason I got into music was because of the Blue album. Also, another funny thing about that concert, another funny thing about that concert is that as soon as Panic at the Disco was off, half the fucking crowd left. And I was able to scoot very much closer to the stage so that I could hear Rivers Cuomo belt out Perfect Situation.
Well, here's the thing here. What the fuck is a Panic at the Disco for one?
Panic at the haven't you ever heard of Closing a Goddamn Door?
Oh, that one-hit wonder.
One hit wonder. Now you're just talking out your ass with this shit. Do you understand? Do you understand the sorry that in high school some of us weren't so cool walking around with our Riddle Box t-shirts and trying to be anti-establishment. Some of us were rocking around
with your straight A's and your New Balances.
I never had straight A's, and I don't know why you keep attacking New Balance. It's a fine product. Some of us...
You know who says that?
Who says that?
A Weezer fan.
Yeah, I am a Weezer fan, and I just said it. So there you go. Weezer is my all-time favorite rock band. Unapologetically, I love them. I stand by it. Rivers Cuomo, I would love to have you on this podcast one day.
Yeah, I would love to have him on this podcast one day, too.
Here's the other thing, too. They literally release so much music that's what's great about it, is that, here's the thing, too. This is another thing about this, too. How can you sit there owning a fireworks stand saying that you're a fan of a band when you bash half of whatever they release? Have you ever wondered that, in all seriousness?
I've never met anyone that owns a fireworks stand to ask them that question, so no.
I was quoting Joe Dirt. Anyway, that's a good point, though, that I bring up there, in all seriousness. Like, there's these people that talk about being fans of something, but then they spend, like, most of
their time hating on it.
Yes, exactly.
That's called toxic people.
Yes,
like you're one of them.
I'm not toxic. Far from it. But, it just seems like that I attract myself to toxic fan bases. Pokemon, super duper toxic fan base. Weezer, very, very toxic fan base. It is what it is. Hey, you know what? Here's Dickie hot takes for you. And I will not go into specifics because I know that you're currently watching this show and I will not spoil it for you. I liked the ending of Game of Thrones, okay? I sincerely apologize. I know that a lot of people did not like it. They said that it did not make sense. One day, I will sit down whenever someone who is currently watching Game of Thrones is not in this room.
Who's currently watching it? Because you ain't giving me the HBO hookup yet, brother.
Hey, kayfabe. But that's the thing about me, is that I don't I'm a hipster, right? And I was very much a hipster when I was younger.
You're the whitest dad I know without kids.
Exactly. So my point is, I appreciate things. Sorry for being a fan, okay? Sorry for being someone that appreciates things. Sorry for someone that can actually look at Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and be like, oh yeah, it's a buggy mess, but at its core, it's still a very fun game. Yes, Michael Madrox,
I got my hand raised.
Up. You have your hand raised.
But for those that don't know you, you say you appreciate things, but you also go so hard.
Tell me what I go hard on.
Currently Harry Potter.
Hard on. I do go very hard on things because I fucking like when I realize. So okay, here's the thing. I'm not going hard.
When
on
does
Harry
that cross
Potter.
the line though, from like liking something to just straight out addicting habits?
It's not an addictive habit. I started playing Hogwarts Legacy. I was like, you know what? It has been a long time since I have read the Harry Potter books. I've only read the first 4.
You left out the part where you watched all the movies before the game came out.
To get ready for the game, because I know that it has nothing to do with Harry Potter. It takes place like 200 some years after Harry Potter. By the way, I just want to go on record right now and also say this. J.K. Rowling has some very out-of-date views on certain aspects of society. Just because I like Hogwarts Legacy does not mean I support her views. People need to get over it. It's a fun game. Anyway.
I don't even know about that story. So
you don't know about all this?
No. I don't follow this crap.
So J.K. Rowling got in all this trouble for talking about trans women and all this other stuff, like talking about how trans women really aren't women. And I mean, this is 2 years old at this point, probably. And because of that, people were like, oh, we're just going to immediately, but here's what made it so bad though, is that she like doubled down on it. Like she didn't even try to explain herself or anything. She was just like, no, I stand by what I said. And well,
at the same time though, that's like her opinion.
It's her opinion, but she got very, very like in the weeds with it and was like not relenting on it and was like getting to the point where she was like pretty problematic with it. That's where it became an issue. But the big difference between...
I just want to make this clear. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one.
And if you say you don't, you're full of shit. Ha. But no... So I went off on like 2 different things there. No, so
this
anyway,
whole podcast is off the damn rails from
so
the gate.
Anyway, dude,
Episode
I got
3,
that energy.
people.
I got that energy today, brother. You know what I'm talking about? We had 3 great wrestle weekends in a row. I'm fucking ready. So,
oh God, wrestle weekends.
So the thing that about me, right, is that I do appreciate things, but I also don't just immediately become, like I'm not like this Potter nerd or anything.
I'm a hypebeast god now.
It's just like, yeah, you have no room to talk. You have no room to talk. You get in one Whatnot stream where they're giving away a fucking a pair of Supreme fucking shoelaces, and now all of a sudden you're this hype beast guy sitting there with your big baller brand t-shirt.
It's because I fucking hate it so much.
So you do it ironically.
I do it to poke fun at them.
You're doing it ironically. You're doing it to poke
run it
fun.
up, chat. Run it up.
Run it up, chat. I'm telling you right now, man. So Whatnot is so addicting, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
Let's just throw that out there. I know you spend a lot of your time on it for those
Not
givvies.
so much lately. I am a mod in 3 different chats. Just throwing that out there.
Wonderful. I recently, talking about Whatnot, kind of to go back into last time where we were talking about collections. I used to collect these a long time ago, and now I feel like I'm kind of getting back into it. Japanese import video games, because I found this guy on Whatnot, right, that will do auctions for Japanese import video games. And I hop in there every now and then, and I recently just won a guidebook, Japanese guidebook, for The Legend of Zelda, Oracle of Seasons, and Oracle of Ages, which are 2 of my favorite Game Boy games. So, boom, good for you, Dickie. So, Harry Potter, right?
Back to this?
What
happened to Weezer?
Because I never made, because you keep distracting me and I don't get to make my point. My point is, this video game gets announced, right? And I'm like, oh man, this game looks really, really, really good. Hey, all the Harry Potter movies are on Peacock. Let's just watch them, for the sake of this. And then I'm like, you know what? I haven't read the books in a very, very long time. I've only read the first 4. Then I kind of not necessarily aged out of it, but it was just like, I got bigger.
I'm telling your mom you read those satanic books.
I'm too busy backyard wrestling to read Harry Potter.
I'm telling your mother.
I know, right? So I buy the books on Amazon, and I've started rereading them as I'm playing the game. It's a fun time. It's funny that you talk about, you always hear about the satanic panic,
Yeah.
We kind of went through that a little bit too in the 90s.
With what?
With Pokemon, with Harry Potter. Yeah.
Power Rangers even?
Power Rangers.
Mooby the Golden Calf?
Who?
Mooby the Golden Calf.
Oh, Mooby. I thought
Jesus
I was like, you're talking about the View Askew universe. I didn't realize that. Have you seen Clerks 3 yet?
I have not seen Clerks 3 yet.
Man, I'm so indifferent about it. Because
But I just watched Dogma for the billionth time.
Where did you watch Dogma?
I have it on DVD, bro.
You have it on DVD?
Yes, sir. Goodwill
Dude,
find. $1.99.
I need to borrow that because you can't find
You
Dogma
can't.
anywhere. It's like it's like not necessarily lost media, but there's something that's tied up with the distribution rights.
Yeah.
That like they won't ever put it on
It's
streaming.
that hidden gem.
It is a hidden gem. It is. That's such a good movie too. God, that movie is hilarious.
One of my favorite movies of all time.
I wouldn't put it up there as an all-timer, but I really enjoy it. Really?
All time.
What is your favorite movie? I know this.
What is my favorite movie, Dickie?
It's Let me think. Is it Halloween?
No.
Am I close? No. Oh, fuck. I know. It's The Crow.
The Crow,
The Crow
sir.
is your favorite movie of all time. Yeah.
Yep.
Have we talked about our favorite movies on here before?
Not yet.
Oh, well, mine's Goodfellas.
We'll save that for the later date.
Yeah. Well, spoiler alert. Mine's Goodfellas.
I guess mine's The Crow. Thanks for pulling that out of me, Dickie.
Yeah.
Halloween, dude. Like, I love Michael Myers and all, but there's only one king slasher.
That's Jason, right?
Yes, sir.
But then you chose your name after Michael Myers.
Yeah, that's fine.
Why didn't you go with Jason Madrox?
Jason's so overplayed in indie wrestling.
Yes, it is. Don't
Yes,
get
it
me
is.
started. So, where are we going to go with this now? Because I have all my Venom and stuff out of me.
Well, let's talk about the good. 3 wrestling weekends in a row.
I know. How great was our wrestling weekend?
Long.
So, what?
Long.
They were very, very long. So, I think in order to tie into our wrestling weekends, I have to kind of jump the line a little bit here. And I have to kind of, little inside baseball for everyone here, a little peek behind the curtain. Episodes 4 and 5 are already recorded for this podcast. We recorded them before we recorded this one.
Which started out as just one episode.
Started out with just one episode, and it turned into 2. So, here's why I'm bringing that up. I want to apologize to everyone who listens to those 2 podcasts because the entire time throughout that podcast, I have the sniffles. Now,
Poor baby.
I know it's very annoying. I apologize that my sniffles are in the podcast, but I got a cold. It is what it is. It's been going around. Sue me. So, this all makes sense because to talk about our 3 wrestling weekends, our first wrestling weekend, we got to go to SmackDown in Evansville, Indiana, and boy, oh boy, what a time that was.
That was a great time. We didn't go alone.
No, we didn't go alone, and I hope the person that I'm about to tell this story about doesn't mind that I tell this story because it's very fucking funny. So Aaron Atlas, he was there. Austin Ryan was there. Bunch of friends, a bunch of wrestling friends. We were all there having a grand old time. Aaron Atlas and Austin Ryan during the show got on the Jumbotron during the dance segment.
Yes, they did.
And so Aaron tells me that in Vision, he tells me, he goes, so this lady comes up to me, right, and goes, hey, were you at SmackDown? Yeah. Were you on the Jumbotron? Yeah. Were you drinking? Yeah. So I told him, I was like, hey, I think that means that you can increase your booking fee a little bit.
Absolutely.
Give it that little bump.
SmackDown TV.
He was on SmackDown TV. Yeah. Yeah. So we went to that and it was a very good time. And this all ties in as well because we talked about collecting last time.
Ooh, found an amazing toy store down there.
Yeah. So we go into the store and boy, did they had quite the selection for very good prices too.
Yeah.
I was very impressed with what I walked away with. You didn't walk away with anything, did you?
No, I didn't take anything that day.
Our friend Jeff got a Retron system and a couple Super Nintendo games, or was it Nintendo games? It was either Nintendo or Super. I think it was the original Nintendo. And then our other friend that we went with, he was eyeballing something big time, and I'm like, dude,
Just
listen.
get it.
I told him, I was like, here's the deal. When you're at a toy store, right, and you're thinking, boy, should I buy this? Yeah, you should buy it because you don't know, A, if you're ever going to see it again, and B, if you're ever going to see it again for a good price.
In that condition.
That condition.
Thing was mint.
And that's another thing to look at too is the condition of something. And I found a couple of things at that store that if they would have been in better condition, I would have absolutely jumped on in a second.
Oh, yeah. The Target exclusive ECW Raven figure I found.
Yeah, I almost bought that for you, but you said don't do it. The
packaging,
the card was beat to shit.
And falling apart.
So
if you have a Target exclusive Raven that anyone out there wants to mail me, my P.O. box is just mill it.
Yeah.
We need a P.O. box.
I was just thinking that. Do we have a need for it right yet? Not yet.
We do.
Though.
Yeah, we will. We got fans overseas, Dickie.
We do. So let's talk about that real quick, too, because I just want to say, guys, you are listening to WADD today. Thank you to everyone who has listened to this podcast and given it, because listen, I've heard nothing but good
which is
about
shocking.
This podcast. This is the one where it's going to fall off though, because they're like, what's this nerdy asshole doing?
Yeah.
Just rambling about Weezer. Frankly, a very mediocre rock band to most people on the outside.
He said it.
No, I'm saying that's what they think. Listen, let me tell you, Beverly Hills, that's where I want to be, living in Beverly Hills. So
I'd rather be living with Stacy's mom.
She does got it going on. Every time I hear Stacy, it would just make me think of Stacy Keibler. But now it makes me think of, have you ever seen YOLO? Fuck Stacy, she's a bitch. You've never seen that?
No, dude. Like when I hear YOLO, I think of like Drake and that retarded trend. You only live once.
You do
YOLO.
only live once. This is fair.
That's not fair. You don't know what happens after you die.
We don't.
If I come back and I live twice, I'm gonna be pissed, and it's all Drake's fault. Just throwing that out there.
It is going to be Drake's fault.
But anyway, thank you to the fans.
Yeah, thank you to everyone who has listened to this and like given us positive feedback on the podcast. Like,
they don't know it yet, but like they made us chart on Apple.
Yeah, we charted
week.
Not very high, but I mean still yet to be
it's
listed. I mean, it's still pretty dope. I mean, I don't know. I also think, to be fair, that email was lying to try to get us to sign up for a service. But
we're gonna frame that shit.
But I like to think that it's true. No, I had someone tell me, they were like, "Hey, I never listen to podcasts all the way through. I get bored with them." It was Steven that said it, I believe.
Yeah.
Stephen Mitchell, shout out.
A few people have actually said that to us.
A few people have said that. He's the one that sticks out. But yeah, a lot of people say that. It's like, I never finish podcasts. I get bored with them. And, it's just like, we're just a conversation. And that's our style too, because
I love the fact where people are like, oh my God, that didn't even seem like an hour of my life.
Yeah.
That's the big plus for me.
Yeah. How about this with not understanding full time limits? We're just about a half hour into this. So let's go ahead and hear a word from our sponsors. This episode of the Spot Show podcast is powered by Sewer Layer Toys, located at 3197 South 3rd Place in Terre Haute, Indiana. Guys, let me tell you one thing about Sewer Layer Toys, right? You're going to walk in, you're going to see a bunch of stuff that you want to buy, and you're going to be thinking to yourself, man, do I really want to buy this? Do I really need this stuff? Well, yeah, you do. You're going to walk in there, you're going to see a plethora, an endless amount of vintage toys, of retro toys, of modern toys, of that toy that maybe you had as a kid and you vaguely remember it. You're going to see it there, very fairly priced. Listen, I go in there and I love it. I get most of my collectibles there. Same goes for Madrox. We love these guys. Go in there, tell them the Spot Show podcast sent you, just so that I can prove to Scott that people are actually listening to us and that we are actually worth tying our name to them. I'm joking, of course. Listen, Scott and Andrew are two great guys. They run a really, really good store located in Terre Haute. Again, if you go to 3197 South 3rd Place, that is behind the mall in Terre Haute, Indiana. Go in there to Sewer Layer Toys. You are going to find some really, really good stuff. This episode of the Spot Show podcast is also brought to you by Elite Pro Wrestling. Listen, I'm going to tell you one thing about Elite Pro Wrestling right now, right? I'm I'm going to get a little bit personal about it for a minute, right? Elite Pro Wrestling made me love pro wrestling again. They put on an incredible product. If you want to see what Elite Pro Wrestling has going on, you can go to facebook.com/EPW Elite. There you are going to find a list of upcoming shows. You're going to find videos from past shows. You are going to find everything that you need to know about Elite Pro Wrestling. If you are in the area of Odin, Indiana, or sometimes Washington, Indiana, then you are going to want to check out Elite Pro Wrestling. Some of the best pro wrestling in the state of Indiana, and I truly, truly mean that. So again, go to facebook.com/EPW Elite for everything that you need to know about Elite Pro Wrestling. This episode of the Spot Show podcast is also brought to you by BurntBuds.com. You can check out Burnt Buds for all your cannabis-inspired clothing, jewelry, and accessories, and guess what? You can know that you're doing good. Burnt Buds has non-binary sizing up to 4XL, and here's the best part of all, 1% of all Burnt Buds profit goes to charities such as the Last Prisoner Project and the Trevor Project. Cannabis not your thing? Well, I got good news for you. Burnt Buds also has a variety of humor, Rasta, and LGBTQ plus themed clothing and jewelry. But I'm going to sweeten the deal here a little bit for you. If you go on over to burntbuds.com and use our promo code SPOTSHOW10, you are going to get 10% off your entire purchase. Again, that is Spot Show, the number 10, for 10% off your purchase at burntbuds.com. That is BURNTBUDZ.com. You can also check them out on Facebook at Burnt Buds. Check them out on Instagram at Burnt_Buds. Or you can go to Gizmo's Galleria in Brownsburg, Indiana. Again, go to burntbuds.com, promo code SPOTSHOW10 for 10% off your entire purchase. I was going to stop with the talking about thank you to the fans, but Madrox set me up for a very good segue into the ad reads, so I had to just go ahead and
Thank you to our sponsors.
Yeah,
for keeping us on the air.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and wrap this conversation up and get into the rest of our wrestling weekends that we just had. But anyway, I just want to say, yeah, so many people have been like, hey, what I love about it is that it's just a conversation, and that's been the thing that I've always taken pride in myself in, is my style, right? Like, you know, peek behind the curtain a little bit here, because that's kind of what we do. We don't fully pull the curtain back. We just give little peeks. You know, we just give little peeks behind
show.
the curtain. We just give little peep shows. You know what I'm talking about? So our commentary style is very much the same way. You know, we're just
friends watching wrestling.
We're just guys watching wrestling with a cow. But I feel like there are so many people that want to do stuff like this, right? And they got to get on here and they got to, hey, how you doing?
With their cadences.
They got to get their I'm guilty of it.
You're listening to MadBash Studios.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is Dickie Wabash here with Michael Madrox, and this is the Spot Show podcast.
But you guys know what? I fucking can't stand it.
But I will say this, though. That voice was pretty goddamn good. If I needed to, I could talk in that voice.
But at the same time, just be your fucking self.
Yes, just be yourself, man. And maybe
another thing I want to point out about other things, people.
Yeah.
We do this with no fucking script. We ain't got no bulletins.
We just go out
there.
Just go. We just like and that makes everything feel more natural,
organic.
Makes everything feel organic. Like, I really have stopped going up to people before matches and being like, hey, so is there anything that you want me to get over specifically in commentary? Because I want it to feel organic, and I don't want to be like, okay, I'm sitting here waiting for this spot to happen.
You want to tell the story of what's going on in the ring. You want to produce the story for what's going on after the next show. You got to be a fucking storyteller.
Yeah.
And
instead of just spouting off facts.
yeah.
Instead of just being like, hey, that's what this is. That's what this is. Oh, he just hit that move. It's called this. Oh, look at what she's doing over here. No, and again, to continue to stroke our egos, because that's what we do best here, I've not really heard anything bad about our commentary style either. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So we're just going to keep doing things the way that we do it. You know what I mean?
And if you don't like it, I'm sorry. Give us another chance.
Got 2 words for you. MadBash with a hyphen in the middle. That'd still be 1 word, though. It's whatever. That was a terrible joke that I just
Where
made
the hell
there.
the hyphen come from?
I don't know, because MadBash is 1 word. MadBash
Studios.
is 1 word. Have you ever... I don't know if I want to have this conversation, because I feel like that it's going to bring something to attention that I don't know if I want brought to attention.
Oh,
yet.
it's getting brought to attention now.
Have you ever thought about... Because this is just me, because I think about this shit. Madrox is trademarked, right?
Nope.
Madrox is not trademarked?
Nope.
Okay, so then we don't got to worry about a cease and desist then. Because I was going to say, hypothetically, what if we had to stop calling this spot show with Dickie and Madrox? I mean, you would have to change your name, obviously.
Well, Michael Madrox, I mean...
It's a name you were born with.
Name I was born with.
Hey, little...
on my birth certificate.
Little spoiler alert going into the next couple of episodes. In one of those episodes, we dive into where our names come from. We give that little backstory. Yeah. So SmackDown was good. I made it on TV.
You did.
Did you make it on
Yeah.
TV? I couldn't remember.
We all were sitting next to each other.
Couldn't remember if the camera angle picked you up or not, though.
Yeah. I was as tall as you standing up as I was sitting down.
That's true. So this is the SmackDown that aired after Elimination Chamber. So the crowd was white hot for Sami Zayn.
Packed in Evansville.
Packed,
believe it or not.
in Evansville. I'd never been to a wrestling show there in Evansville, but you had always told me that it usually is not that packed.
Nope.
Because you usually try to go 9 times out of 10 whenever they're there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm going to try to do that same thing, because that was just a blast. So yeah, that was the first weekend, right? So then the next weekend was EPW 5, which was their 5-year anniversary.
Phenomenal show.
But as I stated, leading into it, your boy was sick. And about Wednesday or Thursday before the show, I lost my voice.
It was the nicest 24 hours of my life.
And how great is it when you are the lead commentator for a wrestling company and you lost your voice? Not to make the assumption that I'm the lead. I like to think that I steer the ship. You and Colby kind of help along the way as well,
If
obviously.
I stir that ship would be off the rails.
It's a 3-man team, little 2-man team and a cow. So I'm worried to death, because I'm like, God, what if I don't have my voice back? What if I'm drinking teas? I'm going to bed like super early, hoping that it
mysteriously miracle sermons.
You know what though? How many times though have you been super duper sick and then you go to bed and you just have the best night of sleep ever, and then you wake up and you're a new man?
It is like magic.
It's the greatest thing in the world. Sleep might be the greatest invention. The greatest invention. I'm telling you. So I got a nap in today and it was great. I feel refreshed. I'm great. I had a little weighted blanket on me. You know what I mean? I was just laying back and I was like...
Let's go back to the Anniversary 5 show, because we did something that I never thought we'd be doing. We called a match between Brian Pillman Jr. and Chase Stevens.
I know, right? That so far is probably... I'm not going to say, because No, you know what? I think I know what my favorite, because I was getting ready to say it was probably one of my favorite matches that I've called, and it's no discredit to that match or any other match that we've called, but I'm thinking here, what is probably the favorite match that we've called since we've been back?
Oh man, there's so many of them.
And most of them involve Whiskey and Warrants.
Whiskey and Warrants versus Maverick and Cecil.
Oh,
that was a great
That's
one.
my favorite match that we've called.
We were firing on all points. Those boys were firing on all points of the ring.
Yes, that was EPW week 1, right? The January show?
The January show.
Okay, go out of your way to find EPW Rise episode 1, that is probably my favorite match that we've called so far. Because that was another one where...
It was just fun.
If we would have known what all they were doing in that match, it wouldn't have been as good, because I want my reactions to be organic. I want to just, like I said, like you said, we're just friends watching wrestling. I said it too, but that's literally what our style is that we are just friends that go out there and we just watch wrestling. And I think that for
that
me,
match personifies it.
yeah,
I think I'm using the right big words there.
no, that's the right word.
Photosynthesis.
That's the personification of our style. Is that another one that we did that was really good was Mount Olympus versus Dragon Hearts from Rise episode 2.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of that one. We did really well during that one. Boy, I love how the first 2 episodes we were just jerking other people off, and then now we've come full circle. Let's just jerk ourselves off. Let's just talk about how great we are.
We made it to episode 3.
Episode 3. Yeah,
We gotta
write it
hype
down in the
ourselves
books.
up. Sheesh.
Write it down and stop with that. Just stop with that. Just stop with that. You know that it's going to stop being ironic, right?
Never, bro. I'm hype beast till I die.
It's already started. So I'm sure you've had it, because you literally are having it right now. There are so many things that I have done where I've been doing it ironically, and then this is what I do now.
Like ski.
Like saying ski. I have started saying ski unironically, and I don't want to say that I hate myself for it, but it's really funny.
If you were a religious man reciting the Bible, there would be some John 3:16 skis in there.
So I'm trying to think of a good Bible verse. On the 6th ski day. No,
I thought Martin Luther King Jr. I had a dream. Well, that was Abe Lincoln.
no, Abe Lincoln did not do the "I have a dream" speech.
No, he did.
4
skis ago.
No, 4 years skis ago. No, I have a dream ski. How funny was it at that gas station when I told the worker, I was like, yeah, I need 20 on pump 6 ski. And he just looks at me like, what?
The whitest. He was a Weezer fan, I guarantee it.
It had to be.
Full circle.
Had to be. I mean, we have, like, you know how whenever there's like, it's just like a built-in radar.
Yeah.
I can just see it and I'd be like, we just start walking along and then all of a sudden you just hear, say it ain't so, whoa, whoa. If, you know, that's just how it is. You know, we just hear "Say It Ain't So" by Weezer, or "If You Want to Destroy My Sweater, Pull This Thread As I Walk Away." You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what you're saying, and that scared the shit out of me. Please never do that again.
You've heard these songs. Everyone has heard
belted
these
by
songs.
a middle-aged balding man with a microphone in his hand.
I'm not middle-aged. I'm far from middle-aged.
You're 31.
That's not middle-aged. Middle-aged
with
is
your
like
cholesterol,
when you're 50.
You're middle-aged.
Terry Funk was middle-aged and crazy, and he was like 54.
Terry Funk was middle-aged and crazy since he was 12.
That's fair. But you're taking it, you got to take it literal here, though. He was not middle-aged. He got to be, when you're in your 50s, that's when you're middle-aged. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. So anyway, EPW 5, very fun show. Let's talk about what I think, though. And then this can also segue into the next show that we were a part of, which was Envision year 2. It was year 2. Sorry, There were so many year 5s, year 2s.
Not the anniversary of the second year, but the kickoff of
the kickoff of the second year. Yeah, which, yeah, that's what confused me. But now I understand it. Let's talk about, for me, what I think. I said for me, but in my opinion, what I think was probably your biggest takeaway from those 2 shows. Let's talk about young Logan Madrox.
Oh my God, this kid came out of nowhere like a hurricane.
So we're talking about Madrox's son, for those of you that don't know. We mentioned him, I think, in the last episode. He's got a dream that he wants to be a professional wrestler. And we told him, all right, brother, you got to pay your dues then. So This kid's been paying his dues.
This kid's been going out of his way. Like, he's begging to go to shows. He's begging to get there early to help set up. He's begging to tear down. This kid doesn't want anything for it. He just wants to pay his damn dues. He doesn't care how late he is out or anything. But you know what? They've been giving that boy envelopes.
I told him, and he learned another lesson because he started to open the envelope in front of us. And I was like, whoa, no. You never open the envelope in front of the boys, because what if you got paid more than me? That's going to make me upset. You're just going to cause all these troubles backstage because it's kayfabe what you get paid. Because you don't want to cause any dissension in the ranks, because this person probably feels like they should be given. Anyway, if I'm this proud of him and I'm only his quote unquote uncle, I can only imagine how you truly do feel as his father, because Jesus Christ, dude, you must be so fucking proud.
It is so heartbreaking to see him do this stuff. Like, not in like a bad heartbreaking way, but just in the fact that, like, this is my kid doing this,
like,
wanting to do this.
It's like he's old enough to the point where he can do it. So, like, you're seeing your own mortality before your very eyes of, like,
yes.
Hey, this is me getting older. Because he wasn't even born when you started wrestling. And,
no,
he's 11. So you've been in it longer than 11 years. So he wasn't even born when I started in the business. So
you started after me, bro.
I did. But I mean,
he was born in 2011.
I started in 2012. So I'm wrong there. Yeah. So
he's been in the business longer than you.
He has been. So yeah, I think that is probably one of my biggest takeaways from the last couple of weekends, was just how he is just so ready. He is ready, and he is willing and able to do this.
He's just waiting on that mommy permission.
I know. And plus, I mean, so this brings up another topic of conversation here. Like, what is it with, it seems like everyone is like starting so young, and then by the time they're 18, they have like 20 years of experience.
It's weird.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I do and I don't. But because I was 21 when I started, and I thought I was young starting at 20.
I was 15 when I started.
2021.
No, 14. 15 or 14.
Yeah, but were you working shows at that age, or were you just training?
Just training.
Okay.
I didn't work my first show until I was 16.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Because it's so weird for me. For those of you that don't know, we talk about it in an upcoming episode. Hinsky. We went to high school together, and you were 2 years ahead of me. And I really don't have many memories of you actually independent wrestling while we were in high school, but I guess it happened. I mean, because you're telling me it happened, and I know you're not lying. But
there's video and photo evidence out there.
Yeah, there is. Most of my shit is like gone now.
I know, we try to look up Dickie Wabash.
It bums me out, man. But at the same time, it's kind of a good thing, because
that's old Dickie.
That's old Dickie. New Dickie is far better.
As a person.
As a person, damn right.
Just throwing that out there,
yeah.
bro.
Boy, we are getting a little bit, we're kind of treading into what we talk about a little bit in the next one, so I'm going to kind of backpedal a little bit here and get back on it. So yeah, Lil Logan Madrox, as he's been started being called, paying his dues left and right, working our merch table for us, helping tear the ring down. There's been talks of like other things for him to do, because he loves doing it.
Yeah.
He loves doing it.
He wants to be a gear grabber next show.
Yep.
He wants to actually be a part of the show, which is amazing.
But how does that make you feel, though?
I feel pissed that we're losing our merch guy.
I agree.
He does such a good job. But you know what? What gets him that experience, getting closer to the ring, like just being at a young age, like more power to him.
Yeah.
Like he's been to what, 4 shows since we've been back?
Yeah, four
already
shows.
Been promoted from ring crew.
Yeah. So let's also talk about how he still has a little bit of markness in him. He's still a mark, very much so. because we're driving to Envision.
I hope he stays a mark forever, though.
I mean, to a certain degree. Like, never lose that magic.
No.
You know?
That's why I'm like, at first I was hesitant to get him close to the business.
And
if that makes sense.
And I, even being the dick that I am, I was like, do we give him a bad experience just so that he learns, like, it's not all good? And you're like, no, not yet. But I will give it. So my running joke with him is I'll tell him to do something and he'll say no. And I'll go, sorry, Logan, how long have you been in the business? And then he'll go, sorry. And then he'll do the stuff for me. But here's the thing about him is that he's the type of kid that he takes everything literal. So we have to kind of pump the brakes sometimes and be like, Logan, we're joking. So we're on the way to the show and he goes, so who all's going to be there tonight? And then we just start listing people. And then you said Clayton Clark. He goes, Clayton's going to be there? He is the biggest Whiskey and Warrens fan outside of the two people in this room. Yeah. Who else did he get really excited for?
Colby Jack.
Colby Jack. Yeah, he got excited for Colby Jack. He got excited for Draco Loco.
Kind of excited for Bo Sawyer.
He got a little bit excited for Bo Sawyer for Envision. Bo wasn't at.
Yeah.
But yeah, he got excited.
Which is weird to think that like Bo hasn't seen him since he's been like 6.
Well, how about this? Let's talk about Envision now. Let's segue into that. Here's what was crazy about that for me. Bo Sawyer got me my first big break, really, in independent wrestling. And obviously, you were the one that got my foot in the door. And then Bo was the one that got me other places. So I owe that. You can either say thank you to that or you can blame him. It's whatever way you want to look at it.
I'm going to go with blame him.
But I've not seen Bo in like 5 years.
Yeah.
So to get to reconnect with him was really cool. It was really, really cool.
We even got to shoot a little special birthday shout out to the real deal.
The real deal, Josh Steele. So let's go ahead and talk about that, about how Bo was like, it ain't his birthday today. His birthday was yesterday. But then we send the video, and then it's like, no, his birthday was today.
Yeah.
But, we sent him a little shout-out video, me, Madrox, and Bo. And Bo, like, now as soon as that red light went on, hey, yo, Josh, what's up? You know, this is Bo Sawyer, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, it was really cool to get to reconnect with him because I owe him a lot. I really do owe him a lot because...
Which is so weird.
It's weird to think
so many people owe Bo something, and like, it's just Bo.
He's just Bo Sawyer, you know what I mean? But he brings me up to a good point of like, he was one of the biggest shockers whenever I got into wrestling. Brother, you're a fucking nerd. Like that, and I think we've talked about this before of like the shock of like, damn, there's a lot of nerds in wrestling. And like, that's what made me feel so welcome in the very beginning because I was just this lost.
I'm just going to throw it out there. I don't care if Bo gets mad or not. Bo's a geek.
A geek.
Cody Ray Strong is the nerdiest MFer I've ever met in my life.
What's the difference between a geek and a nerd, though, in your definition?
Bo Sawyer and Cody Ray Strong.
But
that's the thin line right there.
That's the very thin line right there. So... yeah, it was really cool to get to reconnect with him. Just, you know, the business is a booming right now. And I think that, you know.
We made some good friends at Envision, too.
Yeah, we did.
Some new talent that we've never bumped elbows with.
Mm-hmm. It was really cool to get to reconnect with new people, with old people, meet new people, and then have the old reliables there. You know what I mean?
Oh,
because you're guaranteed that when you walk in and you see, certain people, that it's going to be a good time talking with them and all this other stuff. And that's what we talked about before is that like just the brotherhood of it.
We've been 4 months back in, and it's like we already got our own little circle.
Dude, I cannot believe that Dude, like this comes out the last weekend, the third weekend of March, right? And going into our 4th month. Jesus Christ, I cannot believe it. I cannot believe that we've been back already. Time flies when you're having fun.
I can't believe how productive we've been.
We've been so productive. But how sad is it whenever we have a Saturday where we have nothing going on?
It's horrible.
Don't you hate it? I mean, I still wake up and I do my routine of where I'll order breakfast or I'll cook it depending on how I'm feeling, and then I'll watch Saturday morning cartoons. So I still have that little thing going on, but
the rest of the day, it just ain't the same.
It's not the same. It's not the same. That's why, the day that we're recording this Saturday coming up, I don't think I have anything going on that day, and it makes me very sad.
We'll figure out something.
But I mean, it gives me time to get caught up on video games and stuff that I'm behind on.
I'll be going to WrestleMania here soon too.
We will be going to WrestleMania. Yeah.
So that's something to look
We've
forward
talked a little bit about that, but we're kind of keeping it kayfabe because we don't want to blow our wad with it. But
How long are we into this episode?
we're getting near the end.
Well, I'm going to do something for the fans.
What are you doing?
Well, probably the one person who stuck through the end.
Okay.
How about a little contest? Once this episode goes live and they play it through,
Okay.
the first person to message the MadBash Facebook page a certain keyword, I'll mail them out an AEW autographed 8x10.
Really?
What do you say? A little gift from MadBash for just putting up with this 3 episodes and let alone this whole train wreck of an episode.
Here's the thing about MadBash that I don't think that we've really done a very good job of explaining, because we've only really gotten to grasping what our mission statement is over the last couple of weeks. We are all about paying it forward.
Absolutely.
That is what we are. We want to, you look at our sponsors that I talked about earlier, and our whole thing is that we are not in this to selfishly be like, hey, work with us so that just we can grow. We want to work together with our sponsors. And I love all of our sponsors that we have. Love
Absolutely.
all of them. So I think that needs to go with the fans as well. I think that we need to be like, hey, we're going to give back to the fans, as if this content that we give you for free isn't enough. We are going, I'm joking, of course. We are going to give back to the fans. We're going to pay it forward with the fans. We're going to do this giveaway here.
So you know how this goes? Like, this could be a episodely thing.
But see, that's the thing. That's the thing. You never know.
We need that interaction.
Never know. You never know when it's going to pop up.
It's in your hands.
It's the phrase that pays. What is it, Madrox? What is the phrase that pays?
Since we're going to Mania soon, why not MadBash Goes Hollywood?
Hashtag MadBash Goes Hollywood, all one word.
I don't care if it's 1 word, 3 words, or 7.
There you
However
go.
they got to spell it. The first one to message the page on Facebook, MadBash Goes Hollywood.
Facebook.com/MadBash Studios. You can find a link to that down in the description of this episode.
Gets a free 8x10 from a current AEW superstar. Autographed.
And it's certified.
You can't beat that.
Can't beat that. You cannot beat that. Why don't you go ahead and tell me again the phrase that pays?
The phrase that pays, I already forgot it. Aha, just kidding. MadBash Goes Hollywood.
You're not kidding. You legitimately forgot it. The phrase that pays, MadBash Goes Hollywood. Send that to us over on the Facebook page. And now this has got to be a message. This is not a comment or anything like that.
It's got to be a message, because who knows? Maybe everyone who sends in the phrase could win something.
Who knows? Probably not. We are very limited on what we can give away here.
Yeah,
So
I'm feeling generous. It's Christmas somewhere.
yeah, we'll also throw in a Spot Show podcast sticker while we're at it,
Absolutely.
signed by you and I. Well, I think that's a good little stopping point there, Madrox. I think that this was a good episode. I got a lot off my chest. I'm still very bitter, but
Very high energy episode.
very high energy
argumentative.
episode. I really brought the heat this time.
You didn't bring nothing but white nerdy music.
The thing to take away from this episode, though, because I like to do that at the end of every episode, is that thank you, Envision. Thank you, EPW, for having us. Thank you to the fans that listen. Thank you for the fans that listen.
We're grateful, guys.
That have stayed very much. As I said, thank you to Envision and EPW for having us at your show. What else here? Weezer is the best band ever. That's another thing to take away from this episode. And if you want to find me on the internet, you can find me on Instagram at @attaboydickie. I'm making the definitive statement here. I'm not going to be plugging my Twitter anymore. I'm done with Twitter.
Thank God.
I'm keeping it though. I'm keeping the Twitter account, but I'm over it. You know what I mean?
Well, you can find me at Madrox_BSB on all social media platforms, I believe.
Yeah, and then
I probably won't respond to you, but they're there.
They are there. So, like we said, you can find all of us on social media for MadBash. The descriptions are down in the description. The links are down in the description of this podcast. Boy, this was such a good episode, and then the last few minutes, the wheels just fell off, didn't it? I forgot how to host. You're thinking about that autographed 8x10. You want to talk about getting thrown for a loop. Let's talk about real quick, and then we're going to be done here. The fucking fan that came up to us while we were doing commentary and wanted their photo with Colby Jack. I was not happy about that, and it fucking sucked.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you see us at a show and you see a microphone in front of our face, please respect the fact that that microphone will be put down eventually, and that'll be the time for you to come get a picture and autograph. We are working. No one comes to your Denny's while you're flipping the eggs and walks up to you and is like, hey, can I get a picture? Like, just have some class.
Yeah.
It costs 0 cents to be a decent human being. We have no problem signing shit. We have no problem taking pictures, but just do it at the appropriate timing.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for vamping there while I tried to get my brain back on track.
You, bro.
So yeah, you can find us on the social media platforms that we talked about earlier. Then down in the description, you will find all of MadBash's stuff, mostly just the Facebook page. That's what we use. Don't forget the phrase that pays. We will be sending a free 8x10 to the person that sends us the phrase that pays. Not going to repeat it. Go back and re-listen. And as always, guys, please find us on your favorite platform, whether it be Spotify, Apple, whatever. Give us a 5-star review. Give us a recommendation. We, as we stated, are growing this together. We want to continue to grow this together. We want to reach for the stars, and we want to be the true superstars that we know that we are. God damn it.
Well, Dickie, I want to be the person that says, play that funky music, white boy.
That's a terrible way to end it. So anyway, we are going to see you guys in the next episode.